Welcome, everybody. I am doing this quick live stream just to do a quick couple of announcements and to show Watchtower that we are not afraid of it. Because Watchtower just sent me yesterday a copyright strike, and it's not the videos that you may expect. So we're to talk about that stuff. Let's just get Jake to join in. Jake, come on, join in. Say
Hey, how's
something.
it going?
It's going great. How is it going with chat? How we have Lady Wester saying hello. Hello everybody. Hello everybody.
Yeah,
This is a pretty good duo. This is a pretty good duo, I think. Now,
thanks.
I don't know if you remember, Jake, but a week ago or a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, I don't know how time works. We were in a live stream and I said, "Hey, I'm going to put these two videos that were clipped out of the 2023 convention. I'm going to take
Right.
these videos and without any commentary, in clear breach of copyright, I'm going to take these videos and I'm going to put them on my channel to see if they claim them, right?
Right.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna show my face because you all see my face, and it's just nicer.
Yeah.
That way you can see my actual expressions, and it's not just Caleb just going like the
Don't
sound wave.
don't hide your lantern under a basket, buddy.
Anyway, those videos were completely ignored. The video affected is actually the video talking about the pillow videos. Let me show you real quick. I'll show you behind the cameras in my channel, and let me present it to you. There you go. Now this is a channel dashboard that I have that every creator has on YouTube, and this is the copyright strike right here. We can I make it bigger? That's marginally better. It says that one copyright strike was hit on my channel. If I get three of them, meaning if I get another two, my channel gets automatically deleted, it just terminated automatically.
Yeah.
They gave me a strike in May 30th for the pillow videos, culty leaked videos right now. And you can see it right here. Content removed by Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania, which is, I didn't know that they were still using that name. Are they still using that name?
Of
I'm
Pennsylvania.
gonna
Yeah,
take
I
a
know.
drink of my cup of not alcoholic coffee.
Wow, good cover. It is a little weird because they're really not located in Pennsylvania at all, nor have they been for quite some time. But yeah, that's their legal name. And like you said, it actually is like very notable to get a copyright strike on your channel because three strikes and you're out, and
Yeah,
YouTube can just take you down forever.
yeah. Now, what I can do is do nothing. Strikes expire
Usually my
after 90
choice.
days. Yeah. However, I am going to suggest counter notification, submit counter notification, which is, I think, what they are betting on. This is why Kevin McFree couldn't do this, because when you submit a counter, you need to fill up all of your contact info, everything, your real
Interesting.
contact info, because this is pretty much a legal stuff. Like, no, you can, if you want to hit me, here's all my legal stuff. Let's go to a legal battle. Now, obviously, I am in this extremely privileged position where the copyright just hit like the day, like an hour before my face reveal, so I have absolutely zero trouble filling this up. However, if it had hit like, say, a month ago, I would have thought about this twice. This is just not okay. And let me just tell you, just so you know why this is notable. Uh, Even though I am using copyright material in this video, the copyright system, for those of you who don't know, works very simple. Is your content transformative? Like, do they get the same experience watching your content as they would do if you're showing the copyrighted material? If it's transformative, like it is with a commentary, which is what I did, then it is not in violation of copyright. They are doing this maliciously because this is clearly not in violation of copyright. In fact, if we go, which is I don't think they will actually take this to a judge. I think they'll let it die, and they'll just be happy to get my information. But if it went to a judge, it would be immediately thrown out because this is so very clearly not in violation of copyright. It's so very clearly within my rights. This is just extremely malicious. What do you think, Jake? Is this malicious? And also, is this Watchtower? Because let's just say there's another channel that before was trying to, Watchtower was striking them down, and then it was just somebody pretending to be Watchtower. What do you think?
Yeah, that's I think you're absolutely right, because they have a history of doing this, of trying to get information of people who are PMO in the organization. We saw them do that with Ron PMO. Who I think I talked to on his stream for the memorial. If you want to watch that, they know that this is a problem with their organization. They don't understand how these leaks keep happening, and so they're a little panicked about it. And the copyright system, as Bro notes in the chat, is really it's really shitty. You're not going to get to see their lawyer's personal contact information. It's all on you. It's all, anybody can submit that, and then you just you're screwed. All the onus is on you.
If you're the owner of the copyright of whatever it is that you're copywriting, you can pretty much just do this forever without any consequences. Which is why Watchtower can do this, even though it is so very clearly not in breach of copyright. Now,
and I was curious. I don't know if you were going to bring this up, but you made a video doing overviews and rebuttals of the pillow videos. And a lot of XOWs know about those videos because of Pillowgate, the Lloyd videos, because his channel leaked these, and his video is still up. He didn't get a copyright strike, and it's
those
it's 2 hours long.
Yeah, those videos are still up, and my video is 42 minutes long. The whole talks, I think both talks are in total they're like an hour long. So my video is very clearly transformative, just on the base of that. So yeah, but that does give some credence to Watchtower being the ones that are pulling the strings, because I think that if there was like one video that they would want to take out of my channel, it would probably be that one, because I think it's the most embarrassing video for them. Thank you so much, Convos with Evie. Let me sponsor some smoke for Caleb. That is definitely where that money is going, my friend. Don't you even worry.
And
so yeah,
we've been trying to figure out, can you max out the super chat? How big can the number go? So if you really want to kind of challenge yourself, type in the biggest number you can think of or count to.
Yeah. And then get a VPN and go to like a very poor country, so you can actually you a dollar translates into a lot. Is that where you're going? That's a great idea.
I don't think, by the way, that StreamYard kind of sucks. You could zoom on your actual browser to zoom in on the screen, but you can't zoom on StreamYard itself, so it is kind of inconvenient.
Perfect.
There you go.
Where do you want to see?
I don't know. I just saw Rindala in chat say, "Can you zoom in on the page?"
Oh yeah,
and I respond to the chat.
Yeah, there you go. So just for everybody who wants to see it, this is the copyright strike. This is how a copyright strike looks like. And this is who. Wow, I'm terrible.
Oh no, he short circuited.
Removed it. Yes, this is who wanted to remove it. Watchtower Bible Tracker Society of Pennsylvania. Why the pillow videos? Because it was just used. It was in breach of copyright, even though it's clearly not. So yeah, I don't know what to make of this.
To your point,
really,
it is notable. Mimi noted this, that this kind of lends credence to your idea that they are trying to go after PMOs because they know who Lloyd is already.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they don't care.
They're Caleb curious. They want to know what's going on.
But they didn't have to go ahead and copyright my channel. They could have just waited for a little bit. Like they could have just gently asked.
Right. If they would have just
I could have gone like that. That's content. not that I would record, not that I would record my meeting, just say, because you don't never know when they're watching, but that is free content. Of course I would go to a meeting. Just all you have to do is ask nicely, Watchtower. That's fine.
I
So
think they
anyway,
owe it to you, really. They owe you
just
a
to show
chance to defend
Watchtower,
yourself.
who's boss. We're gonna stop sharing this. And I thought, how, like, you know how some people just learn their lesson the first time, and then they just don't do the thing again. That's not really how I learn.
Yeah, I've heard of those people. I don't relate to them.
I don't understand that. So
Yeah,
I think we should just,
You
wait.
must.
I
So
think I think
the governing body.
stop
I know.
interrupting me, Walls.
Walls,
Ralph Walls.
can it?
Jesus Christ. Stop interrupting me, because I need to read it. El Italian, I need your opinion, guys. Here, my congregation, they removed the Zoom meetings, forcing us to go back to the meetings. Should I go to the meeting tomorrow and come out as gay in front of the? Oh wow, that is in front of the congregation. Come out as gay.
I think that's kind of a cool idea, to be honest. Like, I think that, like, people do like Kingdom Hall crashing and stuff, but I think it would be really powerful, for an active witness that people in the congregation know to, like, stand up and say, I'm leaving for this reason. That's kind of cool.
Well, maybe, I mean, you could do it,
Or
what I
not,
would say,
I'm a little big, so
Yeah.
everything sounds like a good idea right now.
or not, or wait, which I think are the three options. No, it would be interesting to come out and say, I'm gay, and then leave it at that, and then you see what they do, because they technically can't disfellowship you for just being gay. They would have to
That's
have
true.
evidence of pornea, as we will watch right now. What was copyrighted? My pillow videos. And since I cannot learn my lesson, I thought the best thing we could do is to review the pillow videos again. We're not going to review them the whole thing, because they are very long, but we're going to show Watchtower track of Pennsylvania, that
Yeah,
even though
right.
they're not there anymore, that we're not afraid of them. This is free content, not free content, but this is within copyright system.
No, people have to pay for this, right?
Yeah, people have to pay. Like this is how you have to pay. Okay,
Which is
Just-
yeah.
yeah, that's the right kind of the right kind of comment.
I
No,
just
they-
noticed that Nick King gave you 587, which is a good Watchtower number.
Oh shoot! Oh, I didn't see it. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I did not see that. I totally missed it.
So you've strung together some of the kind of a real best of
That's correct.
best of pillow vids, and I haven't really watched these.
Yeah,
in a
that's what I was
long
gonna ask,
time.
because
Not since I very first woke up. Actually, this was, I don't think Christina would mind me saying this, but this was the thing that when she was interested in looking at some stuff, I had told her about these videos. And she's like, okay, are those online? Because I actually want to see those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's like the first kind of like apostate content that
Dipping the
she
toes
was like,
in.
oh, I'll engage you with this.
Which is, it's funny because it isn't apostate content. It is literally
no.
their videos.
Yeah, but you can only get it through apostate means. That's
or
the
go to
point.
Bethel.
Well, yeah, or go to Bethel, but you won't be able to get them. You're just
That's a tougher.
they'll show them
yeah.
to you once.
Go to Bethel or do a quick Google search.
Anyway, since I don't want my videos to just not exist, the pillow videos, I refuse to let Watchtower let me know what I can or cannot have in my channel. So while the pillow videos are down, I thought, let's just watch the best 7 clips. I put them together just for you, Jake. I personally think look, it's chronological, but they overlap. They say a lot of things. Ralph and this other dude, what's his name? They say a lot of the same things. Gary Bro. Yeah. Ralph Waltz and Gary Bro say the same things. They're clearly following the same outline. So Ralph Waltz is in charge of the talk for the ladies, or as they would like to say, the sisters.
Yeah.
And because they,
Weird.
when you become a Bethelite and we should probably preface this by saying when they show these videos. When you become a Bethelite,
Yeah.
you get put into little groups of, I assume, what, like onboarding, I think, and
Yeah,
then they
you're kind
segregate
of
you.
sent through like an introductory what would they call it? Yeah, like an onboarding thing. Um and you have to do a lot of training on how to be a Bethelite, how things
Of
work.
course,
And
of
apparently at
course.
some point they sit you down and say, "Hey, we have a nice little video for you." And you watch this two old guy, or just one, I guess, sisters get this gentleman here on the screen, Ralph Walls, and you get to watch a video where an old guy tells you not to masturbate.
Spoiler alert, just like
Spoiler.
spoiler alert, that
The
is gonna
funniest.
become very relevant
You
very quickly.
I just realized if people have no idea what this is, they have no idea why they're called the pillow videos.
Well,
Which
they're
you'll
about to
find
learn.
out.
It's just, ooh. Let's just watch the first clip, where we have 7 clips. They're pretty spicy. Let's watch the first one.
This is
Body
saucy stuff.
Yeah, this is Ralph Walsh. Remember, they segregate them into men and women. Ralph Walsh is in charge of the women's talk, and his talk already begun. I already clipped that because it's just boring. It's just like, the governing body loves you very much, and I clipped a lot of that.
And even though
So
this
let's
is
just
for
watch
women,
this.
we can't
Yeah,
have
this is
women
just for
give
women.
talks. So
Oh no, no,
You
no,
got
no,
me.
no, oh no, no. Maybe, and then here they can't even do a demonstration because that'll be this kind of spiritual
right,
stuff.
right.
Anyway, let's watch this.
The governing body loves you
Oh, I
and wants
I
you
didn't
to
cut all of them.
experience the immense joy that comes from serving Jehovah with a clean conscience. So it's for this reason
Long
that we
pause.
share with you frank and specific counsel
Who's
related to
Frank? They're
matters
going to
of
share them
conduct
with us?
in 2 areas:
With all the ladies, Frank is
your
very lucky.
personal habits
Frank and
and in your dealings with others.
dealings.
Let's discuss some of the things that you must be on guard against in your personal habits.
Oh,
Dress and grooming is important
Close up.
for
that
all
guy
of
was
us.
really funny.
But
I
for
didn't do
those
that. That's
serving
that's
in
I
battle,
know.
it is especially important that thought be given in this area. Brothers and sisters, parents and young ones, look to the worldwide Bethel family as examples of modest dress and grooming. Dear sisters,
Dear sister.
please avoid short skirts or dresses above the knee, tight-fitting, revealing, low-cut, or otherwise immodest clothing.
It gives the
If you do
men
not
boners.
give thought to what you
Yes.
wear and how you groom, you will likely be influenced by the world's fashions.
world's
This
fashions
applies
instead of 50s
not
Oh.
only
fashions.
when at meetings, but also during times that allow for more casual dress and when we're working in our assignments. Why should you
yes.
sisters be particularly
Yeah.
mindful
So wait,
of
just
this?
just
Yeah, let's
let
pause
me
it.
just pause this right here. He's clearly talking about dress and grooming, and I don't know if you noticed, he just said, "Hey, this isn't just for the meetings only. This is literally all the time. Like this is how you have to dress all the time."
Yeah, yeah. I want to. I literally just realized today that the channel spam filter had caught like a lot of comments. It's because I talked about the bridegroom in my stream, and
Yeah.
I think anything referring to groom or grooming.
Oh.
So if you're posting and and your comments aren't showing up, it might be that. I literally just found this
Dress
out.
and grooming.
Yeah, I found
That's
this out like 20 minutes
Jehovah's
ago.
Witnesses. Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses love that word. Thank you so much, Daniel. I just
Whoa.
found 20 of my currency. I didn't know I've lost. So by your parameters, I should donate just as much to you. Thank you so much. I don't know how much that is, but
his
yeah,
last
my
name-
parameters.
Is his last name Cool Camp?
Yes,
That's
yes.
amazing.
It's Daniel Kohlkamp. Yeah, that is oof. That is a wonderful name, actually.
That's
That is-
really cool.
That is a
I mean,
great name. You know,
goes
you
without saying,
you
almost.
may have been born a Jehovah's Witness, but you know you got that cool name. So can you say that your life was really bad as a Jehovah's Witness with that cool ass name? Or cool
That's
camp
true.
name?
You're getting the Cool Camp bump.
Yeah, my philosophy is you if you want to donate as much as you like if you lose something if something came out of your pocket, an amount of money came out of your pocket and you wouldn't miss that, like that is the appropriate amount to donate, which for a lot of people is none. Like for me it's literally no money, so I don't donate to anybody, and not even charity.
Let's
Anyway,
all agree to gaslight bro and tell him that his comments aren't showing up. Nobody
They're not.
confirm. Yeah, no, we don't
They're
know.
not.
They're not.
Nope. Let's keep watching.
Because such immodest dress can be harmful to Christian brothers and even some sisters. Clothes today are designed to
nice little
sexually
shout out
excite
to the gays,
others, to make the wearer sexy.
Oh,
We're certain that none of you would intentionally desire to make it more difficult for brothers to resist unclean thoughts. Realistically, you must recognize that generally, men are more affected by the desire of the eyes as respects physical attraction.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
One young man said,
just 10 more seconds.
I personally find it rather hard to think only pure thoughts about younger women when I see the way they dress.
And that's how that clip ends.
Oh, this is number 6 or something. Holy shit, that's so bad.
This is the first clip. It only gets better from here. This is the first clip. In the first clip, they're telling you, if you dress immodestly, men are going to think less of you and it's your fault.
Well, and like he says, first of all, it was unsettling seeing him say the word sexy. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
but
I don't know. I find Ralph to be like, even though he's giving a very bad talk, I've always found him to be quite endearing.
Me
so
too.
When he says sexy, I'm like,
I met him in person.
Oh really?
So
is he nice? Is he
famous.
nice?
Yeah, he's super nice. But
he looks like he gives great hugs.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he doesn't get a whole lot of physical contact, probably. So he's got to those hugs. He's got to make them count. This is like really one of the most disgusting things that they say, which is that, like, sisters, if you dress too hot, you're gonna make men masturbate to you.
Yes,
and that's your fault. Like, what a crazy thing to saddle somebody with.
And then they say, "Oh, but I mean, it's not your fault, but you will make it harder for them." So
want to make it harder?
Do you want to make it harder for some men or even women?
This is a great comment from Jenny. I hadn't thought about this. Jesus told men to rip out their eyes if they were lusting after a woman. He did not tell women to cover up.
Yeah, it's almost like this isn't biblical.
Well, and it's been pointed out many times that, like, Paul's admonition about dress and grooming referred to wealth, not modesty.
Exactly.
In the witness sense.
But modesty is in the Bible is about wealth. Like, be modest. Don't be showing off with your expensive hairs and all that stuff. And they are like, be modest. Don't be showing your boobs around because men can't really do it. What are they supposed to be, the masters of their own penises? That's an impossible standard.
What are they, Saintly Brandon?
let me present the other one video. Give me one. I need to open it. There you go.
Yeah.
The next area.
Let's play.
The next area of concern is a more sensitive matter. That is to resist the unclean habit of self-abuse or masturbation. This involves the deliberate stimulation of the genital organs. Don't let yourself become contaminated by this unclean habit. Here's a situation that might arise.
Contaminated.
Let's listen to the situation. A list of recommended pictures and videos displayed by a social media application. Maybe it's installed on her phone. She comes across some provocative pictures. She doesn't open the pictures, but she lingers over what they call thumbnail images, which are small images reduced in size.
Oh, okay, thank you.
As she studies them, she becomes aroused to the point of engaging in self-abuse. Anyone can happen upon pornography accidentally. This world has made it easy for that to happen.
It happens to me every day.
But if one intentionally practices exposing oneself to such harmful images, that may lead to such uncleanness.
What do you think, Jake, of this little
Holy
clip?
shit. I think the thing that was most like that was really upsetting to me watching this the first time, and I know it was upsetting for Chris too, is the reference of masturbation to as self-abuse.
Yeah.
You know,
course.
spoiler alert, they don't call it that when a guy does it. Gary Bro just says masturbation, but it is that's the kind of self-abuse. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Or like,
maybe,
don't engage in
maybe,
the habit of
like-
BDSM by yourself.
Yeah, like what kind
one
of
of those.
masturbation is Ralph doing that he think is self-abuse? Like, you're not supposed to do it. Like, gee, like I know that some people like to suffocate themselves, but that you don't need to do that every time, Ralph. Like, that doesn't have to happen all the time.
He just has a crazy
Jesus
idea
was
of
pretty
what it
base.
is.
Jesus was pretty base. Jesus would not approve of this. If you notice in this,
He has some
they
good
pretend
ideas.
that everything is in the Bible, and then they're like, "What would the Bible say?" Well, the Bible says, "Be modest." Can you be modest if you're showing your boobs? Like, they literally grab the most generic Bible verse just to pretend that this is Bible based, even though it's not based at all.
It is not. And I also I like this comment from Shaq Composer. Do you need 2 witnesses to report self-abuse? Like, I think the thing that's tricky about that, like, it just creates such a culture of shame, because you know that, like, pretty much, unless you're, you know, real sloppy about it, no pun intended, you know, you're not going to get like caught doing that, so to speak. So it's just like you internalize that shame, like you have to tell on yourself, and if you don't, you feel bad.
Which is what I think happens here. Like, these highly specific scenarios, and we'll keep going through these highly specific scenarios. These highly specific scenarios of, oh, imagine this, like somebody's doing this, and then this happens, and then this happens. I honestly think that's because that's actual. Every time that they say imagine this scenario is something that literally happened, that somebody either confessed to or was found out. So, and I don't remember being so repressed back then that, you know, when you're isolated and you happen to come across anything that is remotely sexy, like you're so repressed that just does it for you, because you're just you avoid it all the time forever, and it's so unhealthy that I see this happening. This happened to me. It's just it is a very realistic thing. It's so realistic that I have to believe that these are based in real events, like all of them.
Yeah, and like as we'll see in later videos, the one featuring pillows is so specific that nobody would just make it up. So like I think that you have to remember too, this, I would think if this had just happened once, wouldn't be worth mentioning in a video. This has got to be something that's happened so much that they're like, we need to address this day one before it gets out of control.
You're totally correct.
Before they're addicted to thumbnails.
Yeah, if it happened, yeah, they you know that this has happened more than once, and that more than once he has been like, so were you looking at the thumbnails? And they were like, what are thumbnails? Which is why he's like, I better add this.
Explain it for the older sisters. Yeah, I can understand.
Jesus Christ. Great mental image. On that note, let's keep watching.
First, we will discuss something that is very common in the world with single and married persons alike: flirting.
Whoa.
In some instances, individuals may not realize what flirting involves. It can involve using flattering speech or provocative body language towards someone with no intention of pursuing an honorable romantic relationship, or not being in a circumstance to pursue a romantic relationship. For example, a sister compliments a brother on the way he is dressed for work. On another occasion, she mentions his new haircut. And from time to time, she sends him a text message to check to see that he's arrived home safely. Now, such actions on the part of a married sister or a single sister towards a married man are
fine.
totally inappropriate and lead to disastrous consequences.
Oy.
What do you think? We can pause it here. What do you think?
This is really
imagine somebody being friendly towards somebody else.
yeah.
That would be horrible, wouldn't it be? Like,
Well,
Jesus.
it's a big like reason why so many of us are like really fucked up when it comes to like making friends and stuff after leaving, because I remember talking about this as a PME witness with my witness like friends, that it was really hard to just like be nice to people and you know, be kind to just like a sister in the congregation, because other people, because of talks like this, would perceive it as flirting.
Exactly.
Even though probably the individual wouldn't. But I also like, for me, what this did was anytime anyone was nice to me, I'm like, are they flirting with me? Can I be married to this person? Because you have to date with the view to marriage.
Yeah, would I marry this person? Because otherwise, I can't keep talking to them. Because they complimented my haircut. Jesus, it's just. Can you imagine?
And it's also coming from, you know, all of these talks are given by men and written by men, and the people on the committees asking such things to be mentioned are all men. So this, in my opinion, sounds like some brother was getting hot and bothered by like a sister in the hall telling him he looked nice once, and had an existential crisis about it. And like, she was flirting with me. I had no choice but to send her my dick. It's her fault. You know, and I just like this. So I'm short circuiting now.
Yeah, it's a very misogynist, as Rindala says. It's very misogynist to think, oh, a woman is smiling at you, then she's flirting, then she owes you something because she's flirting. She must mean that she wants to marry you in this case. It's just, it's very toxic, obviously, and it makes it so you simply do not have friends of the other sex. Like you don't. You only have friends of the same sex, and you are just courteous with people of the other sex because you just don't hang out together, and that makes it so it's more easy to be misogynist and everything because women are not there to keep you in check. It's just disastrous whatever way you see it.
What's really like unhealthy about it too is that it just puts in your mind like you're supposed to be on the watch about such things. Yeah, like exactly. So what it does is it creates this culture where you're constantly thinking about sex and potentially having sex with people, and watch out for that person because people might think we're flirting, and that means that. And but like, you know, most people I think just wouldn't are just capable of having a friendship without it going to that place. Like, I think it's hard. It's something I hear a lot of XJWs talk about, and I know I've had that problem of just like figuring out how do you just have friends that, you know, are of the opposite sex, or, you know, because your entire mind is just full of this shit, full of your Ralph Walzes.
Yeah, no, it makes it so you're hyper aware all the time of everything that happens around you, especially in the congregation. And it's just terrible. Let's see how this ends.
If the sister and brother are single, what should she consider? That this brother would be justified in concluding that she has a romantic interest in him. And if she is not interested in pursuing the courtship, she's flirting. And that's damaging. Flirting is cruel and dangerous. It is a form of lying that disregards Jehovah's counsel.
This is 100% incel rhetoric. This is come on.
This is some red pill.
And no, this
shit.
is a. If anyone wants to know what this is a hand rolled, tobacco nicotine filled cigarette.
You hand make your own vapes.
Yeah. I hand make my own,
like Tony Stark in a cave.
This is exactly what people what this talk is making it. So you ask somebody if they have new glasses and they blush because like they think it's flirting. They think you want to marry them, and if you don't want to marry them, you are lying and you're being cruel, which is what Ralph is saying.
It's
Yeah.
lying. Yeah, it's
It's
lying.
cruel and dangerous. Jesus.
Cruel and I mean,
So many people not die, but Jesus, close. Do you want to be the first one to die out of it? Really? Jesus.
and then they wonder why. I don't know, man. I fucking hate this. It creates such a big problem, but it's also like it's such an issue with these like kind of right-wing male influencers right now who try and instill this stuff from a secular point of view. So it's kind of a problem that exists outside of Jehovah's Witnesses, which saddens me because I think a lot of guys who leave kind of go down that rabbit hole a little bit.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, well, they had one thing right. Women are constantly
well,
lying to me by smiling.
Yeah, I mean, you have to like it's hard to which is we always talk about this inevitably about shedding indoctrination. It's very hard to shed indoctrination. You think that I'll just read up on the things that they got wrong, but these videos just show you how deep the indoctrination goes, because these videos we have the good thing with these videos is that usually they speak to you like in a lot of layers because they expect other people, even unbelievers, to watch it. These videos, they don't expect any unbelievers to watch, so they can be a little bit more candid, not as candid as as anybody would be, like a normal person, but they can be more candid in these kind of situations, and you can see just how coerced everybody is. And I hope that this helps you realize that maybe you are a little bit more indoctrinated, because we all are, I think, a little bit more indoctrinated than we originally think. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is one of the things that I didn't think had affected me, but definitely did. Like as somebody after waking up and deconstructing stuff, because I always thought like, well, I never agreed with their stance on women and gay people, so I'm good. I don't have anything to work on there. But like, no matter who you are, you internalize all this stuff. Women too. There are women who are the heads of anti-feminist movements in the secular world, and internalized misogyny is a big problem in the organization. It kind of necessarily has to be, because you have to constantly tell yourself that you're not worthy of giving talks or carrying microphones.
Yeah.
So this kind of self-hatred is really important for everyone in the organization. And there's just no way for it not to seep into your bone marrow a little bit.
Yeah, it's very damaging narrative, and it's no. We talk about how this is like how incels start, because it's very common that this to hear this kind of rhetoric. The only other place where you hear this kind of rhetoric is like in 4chan, like it's just, oh, they smiled at me and then they weren't interested. She was just playing with me. This is how all women are. And Ralph is like, no, we want to be more loving than that, don't we, fellow sisters? Yeah, no, it's
insane. Well said, Jenny. They create an environment where in order to thrive or be valued, you have to put other women down. This was like, I had a really hard time with this with my mom, because I think of her as a very strong woman. I mean, she really is in a lot of ways. But, when I would bring up, which I did even as a kid, I remember this as kind of being my first doubt, learning that women can't be teachers in the congregation, just because as a kid, I was like, every teacher I've ever had has been a woman. I don't understand that. And, to hear my mom be like, well, I don't even want to give talks. And like clearly hearing her make excuses why it's fine, when it's just like naturally like, that doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, but the religion makes it so you have to make excuses for the religion, and that's how you prove that you are spiritual. So making excuses for the failings of the religion, is like, oh, but it's just no, we are above I don't even want to do more than cleaning toilets. That is what I want to do. That is it's a privilege, they keep saying. So yeah,
Mimi is
let's watch.
popping off. I love it. She's defending people like me who are perpetually flirtatious.
Honestly, yeah, I relate to that. Yeah.
Nice glasses, Caleb.
Oh,
See what I mean?
oh my god, Jesus Christ! He wants to marry me. Let's play this.
There's
I do, I
no
wanna marry
reason
you.
to be embarrassed about what we're going to discuss. You need to
Great
understand
intro.
these matters to keep
I
clean
know, I
before
love it.
Jehovah and enjoy his blessing.
Just a big self-report.
To begin, let's
Enjoy
see
his
3
blessing.
ways in which Jehovah's word helps you to keep your personal habits clean.
Thank you, Nick.
The
As-
first way you can do this is by avoiding tight-fitting clothes that can identify you with homosexuality. What kind of clothes are we talking about? Some outfits are designed to feminize a
Pulls out a
man's
big
appearance,
scroll.
as homosexuals try to do, especially
Well.
displaying the buttocks and genitals. Why? Because it makes it harder to tell the difference between a homosexual and a heterosexual man, making homosexuals blend in. So
Let's pause it right now.
You have to
'cause
pause
this is-
it.
This is halfway through the clip.
This is
So-
fucking lizard people conspiracy shit. Like this is.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you like cursing on your channel. I just
No, it's
know
fine. Yeah, go for it. Fucking go for it.
I've just been spewing out my filth.
It's fine.
No, this is like I find this so upsetting. I was so upset by Anthony Morris's infamous talk where he basically said the exact same thing, because it's just like on its face. I mean, it takes 2 seconds of thought to be like,
Yeah.
or men wear it because they like the way they look in it, and women also design clothes and find men attractive. So who gives a shit? Fashion changes. It does. You like your clothes don't
Women
make you
don't
gay.
design clothes, Jake. Men design clothes, and men who design
Only men.
clothes are gay. So who are the designers? The gays. Do you want to wear the things that the gays make to make you attractive? Because that's what super good design, like high-end fashion designers and all that stuff, have to do. Like they get off on making it so men display their buttocks because you know they can't get dick, I guess. Like they're super great designers, but nobody wants to sleep with them, I guess. So they're like, no, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it so we display the buttocks.
This guy saw 5 minutes of a Project Runway episode and was like, I figured it out. All fashion designers are gay, and
Yes.
therefore it's just that's fucking insane. Buttocks reveal.
Shaq Composer, that is his spoiler alert. Okay, spoiler alert. We will go there.
I tell you
keep
what,
playing,
though,
actually.
when you're
Yeah,
like
tell me.
when you're like 12 years old and just hitting puberty and getting like boners for the first time, you know, tight pants can end up in self-abuse just magically.
Yeah,
It's a tough time. That's a tough time in a
it's a
person's
tough time
life.
all around, because like tight pants, like yeah, they show everything, but they keep it under wraps. Whereas
That's
bigger
true.
pants, you know, that makes a tent. You know, like it's just like, and then,
Honestly,
and then the
it's
teacher
really-
is like, can you come solve this thing at the blackboard? You know what? I really respect it, and this has nothing to do with anything, but I really respected this one time where in high school, a guy, the teacher pulled that off. Like he's like, "Hey, can you come in to the blackboard to solve this thing?" And the guy was like, "No," and the teacher was like, "Excuse me," and the guy just very confidently just started laughing, and then looked down, and he said, "Nope." And then the teacher got it, and everybody started laughing. And I'm like, every single time since, like, that happened 15 years ago.
That person was not a
there's-
Jehovah's
there's-
Witness. I can tell you that.
Oh no, definitely not. But I've always, every single day, I've wished I am as cool as that person was at that moment, because that he was so cool. I don't even remember who he was, but I just remember he was very cool. Can we just keep watching
Yeah.
this instead of?
Clothes contribute to changing people's opinion of homosexuality. because
This is
they
more
come
of the
to see it
conspiracy.
as normal and acceptable.
Mm.
We know that you never intentionally promote that practice.
Ugh.
But the question is, how would Jehovah view a man that serves him while dressed in a way that identifies him with homosexuality?
Look at the stretch.
Let's read Deuteronomy 22, verse 5.
I
and get his
created
feelings
Jupiter
on
out of
this.
thin air, but I cannot abide this
Deuteronomy
person's tight
22
pants.
and
Me, the
verse
creator of
5.
everything.
Says, a woman must not put on the clothing of a man,
Very relevant.
nor should a man wear the clothing of a woman. For anyone doing so is detestable to Jehovah your God. So, what does Jehovah think of styles of dress that make a man look more feminine?
Jehovah's fashion takes.
Clearly, this is very displeasing to him.
Clearly.
Does the way you dress show that you share his viewpoint?
So what do you think? Does the way you dress show that you reflect God's viewpoint? Remember this thing that he read, because he read it. Where is it?
Very displeasing. Think of
Yeah.
anyone doing
It's in
so.
Deuteronomy. So this is right next to don't wear mixed fabrics.
Yeah.
He's not gonna read that bit. He's not gonna
No.
read that bit because they're like, oh, that doesn't it doesn't apply.
Completely
But here-
selective.
Yeah, here they're like, no, this one 100% applies.
You know, what they don't point out is that, like, look at the fucking Bible storybook. All those men are wearing dresses by today's standards. You know, they're wearing
Yes.
what we would now call women's clothing. Like, these just people are just, it's stupid. They're just very small-minded. And it doesn't make sense. The thing that is killing me about this is sometimes I forget, because you're right, this is an internal video, and those are different from the things that are more publicly facing. But this kind of, like, we know you would never do that intentionally.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's just purely manipulative language. Can you imagine if
Yeah.
your friends like talk to you like that in real life? You'd be like, ew, screw you. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, if somebody went and tell you, oh, we know, I know, Jake, that you wouldn't do this intentionally, but geez, you know that you're gonna get into like some very, very bad manipulation. Like it wouldn't even fly because you're like, you're manipulating me. That you would call it out. But since they are there since Bethelites or whoever is listening to this, since they're counting them on already believing anything that's going to come out of their mouths without questioning it, that's the only way that they can get away with saying this kind of crazy stuff.
Somebody noted earlier that, you know, you also can't wear clothes that are too baggy because that's worldly too. So, like, they'll say that. Sorry, I just had an aneurysm. They'll say that they don't make lists of things that people can and cannot do, that it's up to people's consciences. But they box you into such a specific thing that, like, there's a JW look. And for men, it is a tucked in button shirt and khakis. And for women,
no. Can also be a polo if
it
you are at the
can
park.
also be a polo.
If you're at the park.
If you're at the park, that's true. Maybe not on a building project, brothers, you know, but at the park when you're playing soccer with your khakis on, you know, you can have a polo. And, you know, women have to have a shawl and a scarf at all times.
Of course. So they don't show, because, you know, some dresses show some stuff.
They show some stuff, buddy. Which
And
is lying in a way.
The underskirts as well. Is that how they're called?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know. I don't even know what my clothes are.
Somebody in the chat will know. You know, the underskirts that women are supposed to wear under the skirts, because there you go. The slips. Yeah.
I guess I did know that.
There you go. See, I was asking the right person. I knew that. Let me show you the next video file. Hold on. This was for.
Second way you need to keep on guard is resisting the unclean habit of masturbation.
Oy.
The God's Love book explains that masturbation is the stroking or rubbing of the genital organs, commonly resulting in an orgasm.
Commonly.
So, does a person have to use their hands to masturbate? For example, Say a brother wears an undergarment that's so tight it rubs his penis as he moves around. He gets aroused and
Let's say
even
he's 11.
ejaculates. Is he masturbating? Yes, he is.
Yes.
Because he's deliberately stimulating his genitals, even though he's not using his hands.
The first thought I had is, where do they sell these pants that get you off?
I
And how
know.
can I get,
What, like-
how can I get a pair? Because apparently, Jesus, like,
No.
what?
If this was a thing that was real, men would never wear any other kind of pants. That would be the
Exactly.
only pants
That would
in
be
existence.
the only pants that a man would wear. Like the only pair of pants that men would wear. Like men already wear cargo shorts and they think it's okay. Like they would 100% wear this outside. But
100%. I mean, that's okay. So there's so much that's fun and horrifying about this. I wanted to shout out a good comment that Maureen Taylor made a little bit earlier. So it's so pharisaical. The pants shouldn't weigh more than 2 figs. I just thought that was very witty. That was really good. But I like the thing that strikes me about this is that on the Bethel form, which I personally, I had some standards. And one of the questions is, have you watched pornography in the last year? And I'm like, yeah, so I can't go to Bethel. So I'm like, starting on the path of lying on my Bethel form doesn't seem great. So I'm just going to not apply to Bethel ever. Because I don't feel like giving up. That is too hard. But you got to think that a lot of these guys, maybe all, lied on their Bethel forms. And now, and they think, oh, okay, Jehovah forgave me. I made it. I got accepted. Jehovah understands. He must have seen something.
That was the exception, though.
Day one, they're like, we know what you're doing. And don't even try any excuses with the pants. We know about the pants thing.
No, I think, honestly, this is just sexual repression. I think somebody was wearing because I remember when I was a teenager, especially with sexual repression, just anything will get you off. Just because you just avoid that like the plague, and you avoid thinking about it. But in the meetings, they're always talking about sex and all the different kinds of sex that you can't have. So it becomes extremely unavoidable, and so it's very easy to. I can see, I this didn't happen to me. I never got pants this tight at least.
Sure.
But no, I mean, I can see how other things would have triggered it. And I mean, I think this is what they mean. The people are so sexually repressed that even tight pants will set them off. And it's just, I don't know. It's just, let's just laugh, because otherwise it's just sad. And then what are we doing? What are we doing? Bringing down 164 viewers right now.
Can I shout out a comment real quick? Because it reminded me of something that's worth covering. This is Love Wins. Butch women love masculine clothes. Where's that discussed? And there is a very weird erasure of queer women in the organization. Like, they really never address it as a thing. They briefly acknowledge that some women may be attracted to in Ralph Wall's talk, but what they don't do is a long and hyper-specific section on homosexuality. And they do that for the men. I don't know if we see any clips from that, but like for men, like they know they have a lot of closeted gay men who come to Bethel, some perhaps specifically to get away from temptation in the world or something, only to find that,
But I don't know. I think there's as many gay women as there are men, but just women are just better at hiding it, and they're just better at compartmentalizing it and being like, oh, we're just being extra loving with each other, and it's not so much of an issue, because being gay as a man is far more. I think being gay as a man is far more demonized in the religion, and definitely in the Bible, than being gay as a woman.
Yeah, that's true. It's biblical. It's Bible based.
Yeah, Bible based. They follow the Bible. Anyway, let's keep watching.
Does there have to be an orgasm for it to be considered masturbation?
Asking the important questions.
Suppose a
No,
brother
but it's
starts
kind of a
rubbing
waste if
his
you don't.
genitals against a pillow.
If you're sinning,
He gets an erection,
You're already
but
sinning.
stops before having an orgasm. Is he masturbating? Yes, again, because he's deliberately stimulating himself, whether he has an orgasm or not.
this is why we call them the pillow videos, because you can masturbate if you hold yourself, if you hump a pillow, basically, that is masturbation.
What's the fucking point then? Why even try? You know, if you like are thinking about masturbating and you're kind of starting, and then you're like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because that would be a sin. Well, Gary Bro just told you, actually, no. The fact that you even started doing it is a sin anyway.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be like, well, fuck it. You know.
Yeah,
Why not
yeah.
throw
If
in
you
some
started,
porn?
might as well finish, because you already sinned. What's finishing up the sin? Like, you might as well, because at least you won't feel like sinning for a little bit. So
That's what I would do when I was in the organization. I'd be like, well, this day is already ruined, so I'm just gonna get this all out of my system. You know, a day's worth of
and,
sins.
guess where's the porn? Let's just bring the porn now. Like,
Where it? Come on.
yeah, screw with the JCPenney catalog. Show me the good stuff now. I stole that from a comment before, and I'm not gonna credit that. Let's just keep playing.
When my mom canceled her Victoria's Secret subscription, that was a sad day.
Yeah, it was terrible. For me, it was a Sears catalog.
Sears, oh man.
How about having an emission of semen at night, maybe even after an erotic dream? Is that masturbation?
What do you think?
No.
Oh.
Jehovah made that a part of a man's reproductive system, and it happens without any deliberate stimulation. But even so, when this happens to you, it would be good to examine whether you were dwelling on sexual thoughts before going to sleep.
What do you think, Jake? If you have a thing at night, if you have a wet dream,
Yeah.
that's not your fault, but it kind of is. It's not your fault, but it kind of is. It's just
Isn't that the heart of the matter?
A wet dream by like it just the one like honest. It's good that I didn't watch this, because when I would have a wet dream, it would be like the one sexual experience that I could have that wasn't demonized. That I was like, oh,
Right, yeah.
I was literally asleep. Like, that's it. But here they're
Yeah,
like,
you're like
no, no,
high-fiving
no, no.
yourself from last night when you were
Exactly.
sleeping,
Like,
hey,
oh,
way to go.
thank Christ, I needed. Yeah, no, it was extremely useful. As somebody who was told that he wasn't allowed to masturbate, it was extremely useful. But he's demonizing, saying it. No. When you were falling asleep, were your thoughts drifting into sex? Because
Did they like fucking learn about dreams from Bugs Bunny cartoons or something? Like, you don't just automatically dream of the thing you were thinking about before you go to bed. Like, there have been a lot of times where we're watching, like The Conjuring right before we go to bed, but I don't have demon dreams. It's not really how dreams work. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, you can't control your dreams. This isn't Inception.
But I think this is the self-policing at work.
Yeah.
I think people are so ignorant about sexual stuff that some men may have approached the elders, be like, hey, you know what? Like, this happened, and I promise that I wasn't doing anything. And they're like, no, hey. But they still have to give you an advice, don't they? So if they tell you, no, that's okay, they have to give you an advice like, but even then, just make sure, brother, make sure that you're staying the faith. I think that's what's going on here.
It also just like, it doesn't make any sense on its face, because what he's saying is like, no, Jehovah created wet dreams. Like, he created your ding dong to be able to do that, which really doesn't make any sense, because if God's okay with you ejaculating outside of marriage in the confines of a wet dream, then why would he not be okay with the other times? Like, they invite so many logical questions by being so rigid about this stuff. No pun intended.
Yeah, because tell me, there's a lot of things rigid in this talk. Let me tell you, because that's the only thing that they're going to be talking.
There's no way that dude didn't beat off after finishing this talk. Like, whew, all this talk about jerking, it's
nah, he did it beforehand. He's like, I've done this talk before. I've rehearsed this before. I need to clear my head. And by head, I mean the other head. Let's just keep playing. Let's just play the
Man, I
last
can't
few
think
seconds.
straight.
Have
I
been
gotta.
sleeping in a
No,
position that stimulated you, such as with a blanket or pillow held tightly between your legs? If you're honest with yourself about these matters, it will help you to avoid falling into unclean practices.
So, were you sleeping with a pillow held tightly between your now, like this is why being a Mormon is better. A Mormon can do the soaking thing, all right, and that's fine.
No,
Here,
they can't
you
really
can't
do
even
it.
sleep. You can, well, sort of. Here, you can't even sleep with a pillow in between your legs. That's good for your back, especially if you sleep in certain positions. Sleeping with a pillow in between your legs can really prevent look it up. It's good, but here, this guy is like, well, that's kind of masturbation. If you have a wet dream and you were sleeping with a pillow between your legs, you just self-abused.
Well, you just did a self-abuse. The thing that I don't know if you interpreted it this way, but the way that I interpreted it was that they had at least a few cases of brothers trying to create Rube Goldberg devices so that they could have wet dreams and sex fantasies. So that all right, I'm going to think about sex before bed. I'm going to put a pillow between my legs, wear my extra tight sleepy jammies, and then maybe I'll get to come. What the fuck is this? And I think to your point, it's just about shame and self-policing. They have to know that you're just not going to be able to stop people from doing this. So you're just making them feel bad all the time. And as long as people feel bad and shameful and needing forgiveness from the divine, well, then they'll keep coming to meetings. They'll keep serving you for free at Bethel.
That Rube Goldberg machine that you said, that is 100% something that I would have tried when I was a teenager, if I had thought of it.
That's
100%.
why I thought of it.
100%. I was
I thought that's a good
don't
idea.
be ridiculous. You know what? I would have done that. I would have, if I have thought of that in advance, I would have been because it's the only way that you can. Oh, it's just so sad. Honestly,
Don't underestimate.
It's so terrible.
Don't underestimate the ability of horny guys to figure out creative ways to get around no fap February or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I did think of that because I'm that sounds like the kind of thing I would have done when I was a teenager. Just trying to be okay, if I do it like this, it's not technically masturbation.
Let's watch the next one. Which is the second to last.
Could persons of the same sex start to flirt?
No, impossible.
Oh, wait. Obviously, he gets into. Okay, now that we talked about masturbation, and now that you're afraid, let's talk about flirting. And then he talks a lot about the same thing that Ralph Waldo says about how it's lying and all of that stuff. Gary Bro says the same thing. And then
you could not have
very
paused
specific
it.
scenarios.
You could not have paused it on a funnier face.
Yes.
Look at that.
This is definitely showing vibes of those people that were saying that he was getting some action under the desk. I'm before I was don't be gross. Now that's all I can see. Let's just play this. I'm imagining a brother going into his room, becoming Tony Stark, creating a pillow self-abuse machine.
I mean, clank.
Yeah, that is. Oh,
you can only power this
imagine.
machine for 5 minutes. That's more time than I even need.
That's 5. That's
so
4
I can
minutes
use it
more than I need,
times.
baby. Let's keep watching.
Consider a situation.
Consider it.
A group of single brothers has a meal together, and after most leave, 2 of them remain behind in the room drinking alcohol.
Random scenario.
At one point, one asks the other if he has ever woken up with an erection. Their conversation starts to touch on sexual matters.
Touch, you say?
Are they flirting? Their conversation can arouse sexual desires in them, even though they're of the same sex. This could easily lead to comments or curiosity about each other's bodies. Don't deceive yourself thinking this could never happen.
It
I
happened
love
to
how he's
me.
like he just hits the self-report button. He's like,
Yeah.
like he gives you a highly specific scenario, like a very specific scenario, and he's like, don't think this is invented. I mean,
I
don't
never thought of
don't
this
think this
before
is made up. I
now.
mean,
You're so right. You're so right. My this happened to a close friend of mine, and it actually wasn't even my friend. It was like his boss, but he told me all
in a
about it.
dream, but don't fool yourself. Don't fool. It's just. I'm telling you, it's just hitting the self-report button over and over and over again, just telling you, no, this happens. This happens. Who comes up with these scenarios? The people who are living it them. Like the people who are living those scenarios come up with those scenarios. These are real scenarios. There's
This is
I have
yeah.
no reason to doubt that these are real scenarios other than the fact that we don't have any empirical fact to back it up. But come on, this has to be real scenarios. They're so specific.
What strikes me as very real about it is it sounds like the kinds of conversations I would have with my bi-curious buddies when I was like 13 years old. And that's about the emotional and sexual maturity of your average Jehovah's Witness male. And so it makes total sense to me that like two 35-year-old men be sitting around sipping whiskey, and one was like, you ever wake up with a boner? Like,
Jesus,
absolutely.
imagine they're like in the Bethel it's just in their Bethel rooms, just being like, so have you? Does this also happen to you? Do you? And then they just keep drinking, and they're like, so how does that boner look like? No,
Does this
that's
look
not-
normal
this
to
is
you?
what
I
you're
just
talking
want to
about.
show. Does this like? Is there something weird about this? You know, really good comment from Suzanne P. Wait, were the elders flirting with me when they asked all those probing questions during my judicial meeting? Probing.
Yeah,
Yes. I think that's a great defense for any PMOs out there who don't want to get like DF. You can be like, aha, Chacuse. It is you
Are
who
you flirting? Like
flirting.
every time they ask anything, like, so do you have sex with this person? You can be like, so are you flirting with me? I don't get it.
Whoa.
Are with
Whoa.
me? I thought you had a wife.
You just ask that to everybody?
Let's finish watching this.
Keep in mind that alcohol tends to lower your inhibitions and can make thoughts that you'd normally suppress or view as repulsive
Suppress.
seem acceptable, even inviting.
There you go. There you go. Just
It could happen to you.
yeah, it could happen to you. It happens to me. I suppress them every day, but then when I have a little whiskey, it's harder for me to suppress my gayness. That's what he's saying. Like some people have it harder to suppress their gayness when they have a little bit of alcohol and may start talking about boners with other dudes.
I mean, the thing that is really, I mean, everything about this is horrible. This is not the thing. This is one of many things.
The one thing, tell me.
It creates I have to imagine it creates a culture in Bethel of constantly like, now you can't even just be one-on-one with your guy friend because you remember back to your talking like, is my friend secretly gay? Is he flirting with me? Am I flirting with him? Is the fact that I'm thinking about this mean that I'm gay? Like, no, like it's like Andy from The Office when he hears a rumor about him that he's gay and he's like, is that true? Am I?
Well, let's actually answer that question that you have, because the last clip that I have is the best clip that I could have. 1, 2, 3. Yes, is the best clip that I could have because Gary Bro is about to play a game with us called "Is it Pornea?"
This is
The
a good one.
genitals of both need to be manipulated for there to be pornea, such as when two people have sexual intercourse.
So he asked. I want everybody who's watching to keep this question in mind. Pornea is the word that they use to describe sexual immorality. That's just the word that they use.
They're like,
Pornea, for whatever
yeah, they're
reason.
like, that's the Greek word in the Bible, and it applies to many things.
Whenever it says sexual immorality, the Bible says it uses the word pornea. So they have gone into this almost masturbatory sense of checking the meaning of the word in a very pharisaical way, where they have defined exactly what pornea meant back then, And Gary Pro is about to let you know. Now, he asked the question, does the genital of both people have to be manipulated for it to be pornea? Well,
Asking the
let's
important
find out.
questions.
The very important questions.
No, both oral sex and anal sex involve the manipulation of the genitals of only one person.
Damn it.
Does manipulation of the genitals always involve the use of the hands? Not necessarily. For example,
Highly
suppose a
specific
brother
scenario again.
pays a stripper to perform a lap dance that lasts several minutes. She grinds her clothed genitals on his leg while he's fully clothed. He becomes aroused, but doesn't ejaculate. Was that pornea? His genitals aren't being manipulated, and he's not touching the woman's genitals with his hands. However, he is committing pornea by allowing her to use his leg to stimulate her own genitals.
Imagine being so delusional as to think that a woman can get off by just like not a woman, a stripper can like gets off by rubbing herself a little bit against the client's legs.
For
Like
doing her job. Well, no, I think
who is this why is he so disconnected from reality? Like,
he's saying that the guy,
how it works.
he's saying that the guy gets off on it. And it's
No,
like
he's saying that his genitals are manipulated. He gets aroused, but he specifies that his genitals are manipulated, which means that
that was
she's
weird.
rubbing, when she's rubbing herself, she's not rubbing herself against the genitals because the genitals are not manipulated. She's just rubbing herself against his leg, and that is pornea. If a stripper like just rubs herself against your leg, that is pornea.
Yeah, these guys
that in
are
mind.
real stripper experts. That's for sure. This is really wild because I totally forgot about this. This like shocked me. What's really interesting to me, and what was interesting to me watching this as a PMO is like I never considered the fact that a Bethelite would go to a strip club, and this is a thing that's happened so many times that not only do we have like a 5-minute discussion of it, but they've even gotten into the granular detail of like, does this count as pornea or is this immorality or does
That's
like they're
true.
It's apparently a really big deal, which makes total sense. Especially when
imagine when Bethelites, how Gary Bro basically started with, how Bethelites go to strip clubs. Now imagine if this happened,
like a stand-up set.
Like, you're like, wait, what? What? You're totally right. Like I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, well, it's probably a lot more difficult now in Warwick, but when they were downtown, when they were in Brooklyn, like holy shit, that makes total sense. And they still do trips to the city. I don't know, man. Like Bethelites will literally go to a strip club and pray for forgiveness as opposed to just doing a fucking Google search to like see if their religion is true. Like, oh my God.
I mean, going to a strip club is probably easier than them thinking maybe this isn't true because they're so indoctrinated that they're like, no, maybe I can just pray for forgiveness after I commit a pornea with a stripper.
Oh man.
If you're gonna commit pornea with a stripper, again, it's one of those things where if you're gonna commit pornea, like if you're a brother and you're already at the strip club and you're already like committing pornea, then you just gotta go all the way, right? Like it's just if it's already pornea, might as well be pornea, like the proper porn.
Yeah, like might as well go off the high dive if you're already going in the deep end, right? I can't hear you, but that might be my fault. It might just be my crappy headphones.
Sorry,
Oh yeah, I got you.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I got muted for some reason with my browser. Anyway, let's keep watching.
Sabotage.
So yeah, it's probably sabotage. Somebody connected to Kim Sylvia. Let's keep watching and see if we know if it's pornea.
Can there be pornea without skin-to-skin contact? Say a brother lies down on top of his girlfriend while both are clothed, and they simulate having sex.
Simulate.
Are they committing porneia?
Now, if you haven't watched this, are they committing porneia? They're fully clothed. They're just, wrestling a little bit.
Grinding.
Oh,
Stimulating.
no. Oh, no. This is sabotage.
Oh, no. Saboteur.
So if you are fully clothed with your girlfriend, is that porneia?
I mean, I think that they're going to say it's bad, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know what he's going to say.
Genuinely don't know.
I remember being really surprised throughout this.
Have their clothes on, but the genitals of both are being manipulated, so they've committed porneia, whether a climax is reached or not.
There you go.
So you might as well go for it.
Exactly. If you're wrestling with your girlfriend, might as well go for it. Like, that's all I'm saying. If you're wrestling with your girlfriend, like you already find yourself, doing a little bit of, wrestle and whatever in bed, might as well finish the job. Like, that, just might as well. You're already committing porneia. Might as well commit fully porneia.
Yeah.
Imagine asking forgiveness for pillow fucking.
Jehovah, I have a problem.
Anyway, let's keep watching to see if we can keep identifying where porneia is.
That means that even some provocative forms of dancing, such as when a man rhythmically rubs his pelvis against the buttocks of a woman as she rubs herself against him, can also amount to porneia.
My headphones are still fucked up. Yeah, I can't hear anything. Oh my God, he's muted. He's muted. Well, let me tell you something, folks. While this guy's figuring out his microphone situation, the thing that's really wild about that, well, maybe I'm muted too. I guess I don't actually know, but what to me, what's the point? What's the point in trying to do anything? Just have sex. The punishment's still the same. It's like in places where they have the death penalty for everything. It's like, well, okay, if everything's gonna kill me, I might as well fucking go for it.
Can you hear me, Jake? Am I speaking? Okay, perfect. Oh, thank God. Okay, perfect. I just changed my microphone because this microphone is not working. Oh my God, I'm having. I just watched that famous live stream, and I just had that premonition, like what he's like. No, it's just like this microphone. It's not working.
It's just really, it's really loud though. It's really like.
Let me see. I'll change the microphone. Let's just keep playing, and I'll change the microphone.
Okay.
What if a person fondles the genitals of another, but doesn't actually masturbate them? For example, a brother sits on the lap of one of his male friends. His friend puts his arm around his waist and at one point fondles his crotch over his clothes. Is that porneia?
No, I lost my track on. I went back. I'm sorry. Is that porneia? What do you think, Jake?
Is it porneia? I think he says it's not. I think that this really weird scenario, if I'm remembering right,
highly specific.
This thing that must have happened to him like the other day. I think he says it's not porneia.
Let's check. Let me just play because I don't remember where I was.
What if a person fondles the genitals of another,
this is exactly what it
but
was.
doesn't actually masturbate them? For example, a brother sits on the lap of one of his male friends. His friend puts his arm around his waist and at one point fondles his crotch over his clothes. Is that porneia?
Well, is it? Let's find out. Is it porneia?
Is it porneia?
Although the second man didn't go as far as masturbating the first, he is deliberately stimulating his genitals. Because there's fondling, caressing, stroking, or rubbing involved, this act constitutes porneia.
It is pornea, Jake.
I was such a bad test
Tell
taker
me,
in school.
are you guilty of pornea, Jake? Is this why you were saying, please don't let it be pornea? Because that's what happened to me.
Even yeah, wait, no, I don't think so. It sounds like a pretty normal bro thing to do.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's your bro, and your bro is like, hey, can you stroke my penis just real quick? Just
I'm just
you
like,
know, it's an itch only a bro can scratch. Bros know that.
it's a good line. I mean, maybe that's what the guy says too, as like he puts his hand around the other. The second man fondles the first man's genitals. Fondles. Ball fondlers. Just a little jiggle. Nothing more, nothing less. Like his demeanor, his cadence is makes it so fucking creepy.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's watch the last bit of is it pornea? Because he's gonna give us a bit of a curveball in this one.
Yeah, this one is the one I remember.
What are the following situation? Two brothers masturbate in front of each other, but without touching each other. Is it pornea?
Very simple.
Yeah.
Two brothers, obviously spiritual brothers. He means spiritual brothers. Let's not make this worse than it already is. Two spiritual brothers masturbate in front of each other, obviously fully exposing each other, right? I'm assuming. Is it pornea? Now remember, it's pornea if you get a lap dance that is a little bit too spicy. Just
right.
Like, if she gets a little bit too close, that's pornea.
And now, it might be if you know, like if you had a wet dream and it was like kind of on
let's
purpose.
Check. Mimi says yes. El Cook says yes. Water Baby says yes. I mean,
Michael
sounds like it's pornea. Let's see if it's pornea.
The answer is no, since neither is touching the other person. However,
brothers looking around the room like,
disregard for
all right, so we're good to go on that one.
And a serious sin that has to be addressed by the elders.
Jesus Christ. It's insane. It's insane. Like, I do imagine the brothers being like, it's okay. Like, just fine.
Cool. So that thing we're doing, turns out it's not pornea. It's more of a conscience matter. I mean, this is so fucking crazy.
We never wrestled with each other because that would have been pornea.
It's so like this is so absurd. Imagine thinking Jehovah, we're God's one true organization on earth, and what the supreme being of the universe really cares about is whether or not two dudes jerking off in the same room together counts as the Greek word pornea. Like this is absurd.
And this is the stupidity that you get when you go into this masturbatory search of what pornea means. You end up getting into hilarious scenarios where shit like this isn't pornea, but getting a lap dance is pornea. Like just screwing around with your girlfriend fully clothed, that is pornea. But just if you masturbate in front of your girlfriend and your girlfriend's masturbating in front of your significant other and you're masturbating in front of each other, that's not pornea. That's fine. It's not fine. It's a serious problem. It would be considered, I think, what would that be? Loose conduct, Jake?
Loose conduct. Well, it would be, yeah, I guess so. Unclean habits. I think it'd be
unclean. Ooh, I don't know what that would be.
Judges.
It's really bad that Gary Bro doesn't let us know what that will be. Honestly.
Well, as a lot of people have said in chat, you know, then there wouldn't be any more elders meetings because that's how they all end. Everyone's like,
how did they end?
All right, gentlemen, we have used our swords of the spirit. Now our swords of the flesh. Not bad for off the top of my head. You have to admit.
Well,
but this is fucking tax exempt status. This is where people's donations go for this. Yeah. And this is why Watchtower.
This is what donations produce.
If you want to know why you got a copyright strike on your channel, it's because this is the most profoundly embarrassing internal video I think I've ever seen from any cult.
Yes, like you will not find a more embarrassing internal video. Like I think even something that was culture, like them like showing like a lot of smiley people just cleaning toilets and whatever.
Yeah,
that wouldn't have been as bad. You
and
could
like
excuse that.
the Tom Cruise, Scientology speech he gives is cringy. It's embarrassing, but it's also, it's more weird because it's a celebrity doing it, but how different is it from a celebrity saying a bunch of weird Christian-y stuff, like in the optics of the public? Obviously Scientology is very bad, but I think this is so clearly absurd. It so clearly shows how unreasonable, how controlling, to the point where, your every wet dream has to be documented. And you can't,
you have to examine.
Women can't be too nice to brothers because then the brother might
They're
jerk
lying.
off.
It's a lie and it's cruel. Yeah, no. So, what do you think? What are your final thoughts on this, Jake? Like, what are your next pillow purchases and pants purchases going to look like after this talk?
My next pillow purchases. Well, I haven't bought a pillow in over 6 years. We stole pillows from the hotel we stayed at for our honeymoon because they were the best pillows I ever had, and I've used them ever since. I think that I'm really glad that we watched these because I really did forget how bad these were.
Yeah, you think forget it. They're very bad.
I remembered the pillow part. I remembered the really weird part where he's like talking about two bros jerking it together, but not touching each other. It's not gay.
Not touching each other. No, it's just, bro. Can you check my form, bro? Am I doing this right?
My form. It's like we're practicing for when we're.
Yeah, this is practice.
That's literally the excuse that me and some guy friends used. But
there you go. Yeah,
there you go. I think that
it's the excuse we use. Yeah,
this also, to me, exposes like they really don't want it seen by the rank and file because it is really embarrassing and awkward. Yes. But also, I think it exposes things like, I think the perception of the public is that if, like at Bethel, things like that just don't happen.
Yeah.
Like they say
public.
Yeah, like witnesses, like in the fucking propaganda video they made last year, there's a part where the girl says that they don't have gay people in the organization. Like, that's not true. Like, that's crazy. And this obviously exposes that this is just like any other place, like within the organization. It's just that you're going to get in way more trouble if you get caught. It's way more controlling, and they're way creepier about it.
Yeah, no, this is, I like revisiting this videos every now and then, just because there's always something that I miss. This kind of videos are that kind of videos where they have rewatchability, because you can't experience them fully just the one time. Like if you watch it just one time, you're gonna miss a lot of things. You require an IQ of more than 150 to understand this stuff.
This is high level stuff. Well, he's going through a lot of really specific scenarios that are at times hard to follow. So I do agree. I think that there's an argument to be made from watching it more than once. Shout out, Kim Silvio mentions our buddy Ben Ford. Yeah, he had to set through this video in real life. That's the other thing. I don't know why this didn't cross my mind, but imagine if you're a closeted Bethelite and you see that, and you just know that there's going to be the red scare on you, but for gay people, like everybody's going to be worried about, secret gays at Bethel.
Well, yeah, but also imagine you're a gay at Bethel and you're like, oh, so jacking off in front of people is fine?
Like, I can kind of get away with that one. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, like that was just for the gay people, because I don't know if you noticed, that was it was about like two men. Two men are doing this.
They don't call it gay.
A man or a woman. It's two men are doing this, and it's not pornea. You can. I think that when you're a Jehovah's Witness, you know that you can get away with some stuff as long as you skirt along the lines. Yeah. this last bit, I think it does a wonderful job at being like, okay, here's where the line is. So
yeah,
you would do you. I don't know. It's a little bit of hope in this otherwise really bad video.
It's really bad, but I do think that it probably, I don't know, you're going to be in such a rush when you're at Bethel. You know, you're going to be so overwhelmed by this new experience that it's possible this will just wash over you. But I think if you're queer, or if you're I don't know, you just like jerking off, you're gonna like, this is gonna really freak you out, and you're gonna remember it. It's gonna scare you. And that might be, you know, a step towards you asking questions like, is this really reasonable of them to do this? Like, isn't this a bit creepy? So I think even though it's harmful, it's kind of a net positive in a way.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to, like, as soon as the video got taken down, I wanted to just have these videos just resurface again, because I don't want these videos to be forgotten. I want, like, some people were saying, oh, you know, you were playing these videos are old or whatever, because I guess they you know, they haven't watched the whole thing, because we're playing this, in case you're only catching up right now, we're playing this because I got a copyright strike on a video that I shouldn't have gotten a copyright strike on, which is the pillow videos, which is the pillows that we just watched. That's why we are rewatching this, because otherwise those videos are not in my channel anymore, and I don't know if I can retrieve those videos. I actually don't know. I don't have a copy of that video. I don't know if that video, if it's deleted, I don't know if I can even get like a backup or anything. You know, it's
Ooh.
I don't know. So that's why we're watching we were watching this, because it's just,
I've got something you can try off mic, but that's you're really right. Like, I really did forget how bad these were, and it's kind of a shame that they haven't gotten more attention. Like, I remember it, like, Joel McHale talked about it, like, for his Netflix show, which is really funny. But man, like, if this had fucking come out in the era of TikTok, they'd be done. They would be over. But it's like just outdated enough that like nobody would care. But I don't know, man. If any of you folks in here are on TikTok, I don't know, just try posting this stuff, because it's wild.
Yeah.
Then again, TikTok might flag it as inappropriate and take it down.
But if you want to catch them, you know, there's other ways to catch these videos, because, you know, we talked over these videos. So if you want to catch them, I'm not the only one who has uploaded this. Go give views to whoever you want to give views to, as long as, you know, if you want to make content, or if you want to share these videos around. Like, it doesn't have to be my version of the videos. It can be literally any version. What matters is to tell Watchtower that, you know, we won't stop just because they tell us to stop. Even if I still don't know if it's properly Watchtower, Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania or not. That I'm still not sure if
it's them.
was the one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have
like
no
the
idea.
corporation name?
Yeah, it's just, I'm pretty sure they stopped using that name. I thought they stopped using that. I hadn't heard that name in forever.
I don't think so.
I thought it was now the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. Isn't that
they have multiple? They have Watchtower, and Mark,
you're right.
You should hit him up, because he knows this off the top of his head. But they have Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, CCJW, and they have Watchtower, one word, and they have Watchtower, 2 words, which is how you're able to get, you know, like that quote from Loesch saying that he has nothing to do with Watchtower.
Yeah, exactly, because
it's
not the company. Anyway, I have no idea what's going to happen with these videos, but what I do know is that we got record views right now. We were close to 200 at some point. So that was thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. And as always, I never know how to end these. Like,